Morning guys, I'm at a lovely heathland area in Surrey and I'm on the hunt for cuckoos. Well, in actual fact there's a particular cuckoo that comes back to this same woodland every year, or has done for the last 6 or 7 years, and I'm here to photograph him, so fingers crossed. So what I've got behind me is a heathland area. I need to walk through the heath, then up the hill, and there's a little woodland path down onto this sort of clearing in the woodland. So it's a field with trees all around it. So I'm hoping to get the cuckoo. I'm also hoping to get small birds like stone chats. I think there's been woodlarks as well. So it's, it's a fantastic location. It's very reliable for this particular cuckoo, although there's no guarantees. But I'm just going to get there and spend probably 4 or 5 hours and hope the cuckoo turns up. I'm not going to do any vlogging while I'm there because it's quite a popular area, and I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of photographers up there already, or certainly lots of photographers arriving. So fingers crossed. Because even though this cuckoo is fairly confident around people, which is unusual, we still want to be a reasonable distance away. So I've got my 600mm prime lens with me today, and I'm also going to be hopefully photographing small birds such as stone chats and other smaller woodland birds. So again, the 600mm is a really useful focal length to have. I've got my 1.4 converter in my camera bag. I may or may not use that. Now it's quite soft, dull lighting conditions, but I don't mind that for the cuckoos because they've got quite a creamy sort of breast, and I don't want harsh sunlight on there because it's easy to overexpose. So the soft lighting's fine. I'll get nicer contrasty images with this lens. I've got my Z6 II because I want to shoot some video as well as some stills. So yeah, I'm going to say bye for now guys. I'm going to have a hike up. It's going to take me about 20-25 minutes to hike up the hill, and we'll see what we get. So I'll speak to you after I've finished the photography, because I'm not going to vlog during it. Okay, so yeah, bye for now guys, speak to you soon. I think cuckoos are really striking birds. They resemble a bird of prey actually, with that really bright yellow eye, that piercing yellow eye. They've got grey upper body part, or bluey grey really, and then a really striking sort of breast or chest area, a barred pattern of cream and grey as well. So they look fantastic and they're brilliant to photograph. They do have questionable sort of habits though. As I'm guessing you're all aware, cuckoos don't bring up their own young. They look for a suitable donor nest, and once the birds from their donor nest have laid their own eggs, and it might be a dunnocks, reed warblers, all sorts of small birds will fall prey to cuckoos. So once these birds have laid their own eggs, then the cuckoo dives in, and it will take one of the eggs out in its beak and it will lay its own egg. Then it will fly off, and normally it will eat that egg that is taken out of the nest. And during the season they'll lay up to 25 eggs in different nests around their territory. So they're quite busy throughout the season, and most cuckoos arrive in April. They spend the summer here and then they migrate back to Africa around about the end of August. So they're here for the top summer months, and they feed mainly on insects, and pretty much any insects from beetles, spiders, and one of their favourite prey items will be caterpillars. And beetles will even eat, cuckoos will even eat the really sort of bright, hairy, poisonous caterpillars. And they manage to do this because every few weeks they shed the entire lining of their stomachs to get rid of those poisonous hairs, and then they carry on eating a diet of caterpillars and insects, as I say, throughout the summer. Now, once the chick has hatched, instinctively it will push out all the other eggs in the nest. So it's quite a gruesome sort of life cycle really, and then these small birds will end up feeding this huge chicken in the nest, and it'll be the only one in the nest because it's already dealt with all the eggs from its sort of adopted parents, so to speak. So yeah, fantastic birds to photograph. They've got a really interesting life cycle and behaviour. and they're here sort of as a summer visitor. Now their numbers have dropped, and I think people think it's mainly because some of the donor species haven't been doing so well. You know, the dullocks, the meadow pipits, the reed warblers, some of those numbers have dropped. So if there's less donor nests for the cuckoos, then cuckoo numbers will also drop, you know. But hopefully, for me, when I first hear a cuckoo, it's almost the sound of the start of spring. So hopefully that sound never leaves the UK, and I hope, you know, as time goes on and various, you know, sort of conservation efforts take place, cuckoo numbers will go up again. Alongside the cuckoo, as you can see, I photographed and filmed a woodlark, and well, it's a couple of woodlarks there actually, and it's a first for me. I've never even seen a woodlark, so it was really great to get some footage and some really nice stills. They're quite small brown and white birds, so you know, a little brown job. But as I say, it was a first for me, so I'm really pleased to have got the footage and stills. They're the sort of habitat they like is again a heathland, open woodland, and they like short grass because they hop around in the grass looking for insects, and that's what they mainly eat, insects throughout the year, and some seeds when insects are not as widespread. The male and the female, they both build the nest when they start breeding, and they start coming back to their breeding territories about January time, and they normally nest quite early, about March, and they'll build a small sort of cup on the ground, and the female will lay roughly 3 to 5 eggs, and she incubates them for 12 to 15 days, and then the chicks normally fledge after about 12-13 days, and after that both parents will continue to feed the chicks. As I say, you know, they're not the most fantastically bright, colourful birds, but as it was a first for me, it was really great to photograph these guys. And then just to finish off, I also got some nice footage and some nice stills of stonechats, and they're about the same. Well, no, they're a bit smaller than the woodlarks actually, and the male is a lot more colourful than the female. It's got this really sort of pinky red breast and a black head, and the female's a lot browner, and they like similar sort of habitats. They like heathland, they like nesting and feeding in heathland areas, and they'll also like coastal areas like sand dunes, especially if there's some gorse, because they like to sort of stand up on the gorse, and they stand quite upright, and they'll continually flick their tail, and that's great for when you're shooting slow motion footage because it's quite quick, and the slow-mo just slows it down a little bit, and again they'll nest and lay again about the same amount of eggs, 3 to 5 eggs normally. So cracking little birds. What a great day I had. Cuckoo, which was the reason I went to the heathland in the first place, then stonechats and woodlarks. So it was a really cracking day, and I'm pleased. 2 new species for me. Well, I say 2 new species. I have photographed a cuckoo in the past, but really poor shots. I got some really nice shots of cuckoos, so let's say it's a first for me there, and some great shots of the woodlark, which was a first, and then a couple of shots of the stonechats. But I photographed stonechats on many occasions. I find they're a lot more widespread than the woodlarks, which are not super rare, but there's not that many around.
What an absolutely brilliant 3 or 4 hours of photography I've had. I've got the cuckoo. It was stunning actually. It came in for a few minutes and then disappeared again, and then it came back in again to the field for another 2 times. So I reckon that cuckoo was there for 20, maybe 15-20 minutes over the 3 sort of visits it had to these, you know, this area of woodland and fields. So I've got some great stills, I've got some great video, and it was absolutely brilliant. I also got stonechats. I've got male and female stonechats, and I've got them perching, I've got them in flight, which is something else I really wanted to do because small birds are quite difficult to photograph in flight. So when I was doing the stonechats, I was on 1/2500th of a second, or 2,000th of a second, so fast shutter speed, so I can freeze the motion of those small birds. When I was doing the cuckoo, some of the time I was on a couple of thousandth of a second. Sometimes, as you know, it was quite dull, I dropped the shutter speed down so I could reduce my ISO a little bit. So all good. And I also got the woodlarks as well, in amongst the sort of the grass. It was feeding, looking for insects. So yeah, it's been stunning. As I say, the light's been soft all day, but that's brought out the detail in the animals, especially the cuckoo, because it's got that sort of cream coloured breast. I couldn't have had a better time. So I've got cuckoos, I've got woodlarks, I've got stonechats, male and female, and as I say, it's just been a fantastic experience. So this is a short video. As I say, I couldn't vlog whilst actually doing the photography because there was too many people around. But look, I hope you enjoyed the footage. I hope you've enjoyed the footage. I hope you've enjoyed the stills. I'll put a few more stills on after this bit to camera. But what a great day I've had. So if you've enjoyed this video, if you can give it a like, a thumbs up, that would be great. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, if you can consider subscribing, that would be brilliant. More the merrier. So I'm creating content like this on a semi-regular basis, once every other week or every 2 or 3 weeks, and I'm shooting mainly wildlife videos but with some landscape videos as well. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this one, guys, and I'll speak to you on the next one. Bye for now.